and beyond Winter Games. May its implementation reaffirm our shared conviction that even in a divided world, unity remains possible, and respect for our common rules means that we all win. So we should remember, not only when cheering for the next Olympic medal at the beginning of next year, but also when you vote on the next resolutions in this hall, that playing by the rules is the life insurance for all of us. I thank you. I now give the floor to the distinguished representative of Italy to introduce draft resolution A/80/L10.
Madame President, dear delegates, I'm deeply honored to stand in front of you today alongside the IOC's new President, Kirsty Coventry, to introduce on behalf of Italy the draft resolution Building a Peaceful and Better World Through Sport and the Olympic Ideal. At a time of growing discord and conflict, sport and the Olympic Games can provide a beacon of hope, an alternative to rivalry and division. Yes, the Olympic Games are founded on competition and the pursuit of excellence. But throughout their history, they have demonstrated something even more powerful, a sense of humanity which transcends even the greatest of athletic achievements. At the Olympic Games in Innsbruck in 1964, the Italian bobsledder Eugenio Monti wrote his name into sporting history with an act of sportsmanship for which he became better known than his 6 Olympic medals. Twice he was forced to settle for bronze when Italy might have won gold. First, by loaning the triumphant British 2-man team a bolt for their broken sled, and then by offering a mechanical support to the Canadians who became champions in the 4-man event. He went on to win 2 gold medals at the Grenoble Olympic Games in '68 and many World Championship titles. But he also became the first recipient of the Baron Pierre de Coubertin World Trophy in recognition of his remarkable display of selflessness. Monti's actions more than 60 years ago are a shining example of sports power to rise above rivalry and national boundaries. Of course, he was a winner. Of course, he wanted to win. But for him, the core Olympic values of excellence, friendship and respect mattered more than coming first. These values, embedded in the Olympic Charter, are one of the reasons why the Olympic Games are still able to show the world that there is an alternative to conflict. I personally witnessed the extraordinary power of the Games in Pyeongchang in 2018 when, in Casa Italia, we hosted Taekwondo athletes from the DPKR and the Republic of Korea. This is what the Olympic Charter stands for. Athletes from all over the world coming together in friendship and united by the power of sport. The draft resolution before you today notes the role of sport in inspiring individuals and communities to uphold these core values. It also acknowledges that the Olympic and Paralympic Games of Milano Cortina 2026 will be a unifying event to harness the power of sport. As President of the Organizing Committee for the Milano Cortina Winter Olympic and Paralympic Games 2026, I know we have a unique occasion and opportunity to promote the Olympic truce and build an atmosphere of peace. For the first time in 2 decades, the Olympic and Paralympic Games will return to Italian soil in February and March next year. The circumstances in which we were awarded the Games in June 2019 were very, very different to the ones in which we'll stage them, after a global pandemic and because of new conflicts. It's my sincere hope that lo spirito italiano, the new and vibrant Italian spirit, which is at the center of our vision and mission, may conquer hearts and minds and inspire change. It is also my hope that the incredible athletic achievements we will witness next year, carved in the icy beauty of the Italian Alps, will inspire the whole world. Around 3,000 athletes from 91 countries will compete in the Olympic Games in 116 events, including a first ski mountaineering. 70 years after the Italian skier Giuliana Scenal Minuzzo became the first woman in Olympic history to recite the Olympic oath at the Cortina Winter Games in '56, Milano Cortina will be the most gender-balanced Winter Games in history. Meanwhile, next year's Paralympic Games will mark the winter edition's 50th anniversary with more than 660 athletes from 79 countries taking part in 6 sports. For half a century, the Paralympic Winter Games has broken down barriers and promoted inclusion in society. For Italy, the Games will deliver more than 300 legacy projects, improving accessibility for people with disabilities, upgrading transport infrastructure in towns and mountainous areas, and serving as a symbol for diversity and empowerment. Milano Cortina 2026 will be the first time the Olympic and Paralympic Games have been awarded to more than one city and will be held across several different regions and provinces. It's a unique opportunity for Italy to demonstrate to the world how different cultures can be united by sports. Unlike past games, athletes will stay in 8 different villages and clusters. In each there will be a truce wall where they will be able to leave their signatures as a symbol of their commitment to peace. For me, this all underlines the core message of Milano Cortina 2026. Armonia, harmony. It's a message and principle which has deep roots in Italian culture and history. Renaissance artists, writers, and philosophers like Michelangelo, Leonardo, and Lorenzo de' Medici promoted universal themes of beauty, reason, and harmony. By encouraging culture and dialogue over dogma, they laid the foundations for modern diplomacy and changed the perspective and put human beings and their dignity and respect first. These principles sit at the heart of this great institution and echo the cherished Olympic commitment to universality. Madam President, dear representatives of Member States, I wish to reiterate the message of non-violence according to the ancient Greek tradition of the Olympic Truce. I would like to thank all the delegations that have expressed their support and co-sponsored this draft resolution in close cooperation with the International Olympic Committee. And I humbly urge all members and delegates to support this resolution and to set aside differences and divisions and come together in harmony in Milano Cortina next year. Thank you for your attention.
I thank the distinguished representative of Italy and all the best for the preparations. I now give the floor to the distinguished representative of the European Union on behalf of the EU and its member states.
Madam President of the General Assembly, Madam President of the International Olympic Committee, I have the honour to deliver these remarks on behalf of the European Union and its member states. The candidate countries Turkey, North Macedonia, Montenegro, Serbia, Albania, Ukraine, the Republic of Moldova, Bosnia and Herzegovina, and Georgia, as well as San Marino, align themselves with this statement. President, the European Union stands united in endorsing and fully supporting the adoption of this resolution by consensus under the leadership of Italy and in cooperation with all co-sponsors. The Olympic Truce, echoing the ancient Greek tradition of Olympiaki Ekechiria, serves as a powerful symbol of our collective commitment to peace, unity and understanding among nations during the period of the Olympic Games and beyond. It also embodies values that lie at the heart of the European project: peace, solidarity, dialogue, and human dignity. At a time when wars continue to cause immense suffering and when trust in international cooperation is being tested, this resolution serves as a powerful reminder that collective challenges require global responses. The European Union fully supports the objectives of the Olympic Truce: to safeguard the neutrality and inclusivity of sport, to promote humanitarian access and protection during conflict, and to reaffirm that peaceful competition and cooperation are possible among nations. For more than 30 years, this initiative has linked the ideals of the ancient Olympic Games with the modern pursuit of peace. The European Union acknowledges the commendable merits of the Olympic Ideal Resolution and its potential to foster international cooperation, encourage dialogue, and mitigate conflicts during this prestigious global event. As a group that upholds the values of diplomacy, collaboration, and peaceful coexistence, the EU firmly believes that Olympic Truce aligns seamlessly with a dedication to a world where differences are resolved through open dialogue and mutual understanding. President, the European Union stands ready to work with the United Nations, the International Olympic Committee, and the International Olympic Truce Center, of which I had the immense privilege of being its first director, to bring these values into education, youth engagement, and conflict prevention. The European Union also welcomes the return of the Games to Europe throughout the decade, first from Paris in 2024, now to Milan Cortina in 2026, and the French Alps in 2030, which gives us the opportunity to reflect our shared values with the Olympic movement and the responsibility to do so. As we look ahead to the Milan Cortina 2026 Games, we extend our best wishes to the government of Italy and to the organizing committee in their preparations. Additionally, we extend our heartfelt best wishes to all athletes who will participate in the Games, hoping for their success and a celebration of global unity. The European Union and its member states call on all nations to make the truce a living reality, in word, in spirit, and in action. Dear colleagues, sports unite us. Let us seize that unity to build a more peaceful and humane world. Thank you.
I thank the distinguished representative of the European Union. I now give the floor to the distinguished representative of Cyprus.
Thank you, Madam President. Cyprus welcomes the adoption of this resolution on building a peaceful and better world through sport and the Olympic ideal. And we are pleased to have joined others in co-sponsoring the resolution, and we extend our appreciation to Italy for its constructive guidance throughout the negotiations. Cyprus aligns itself with the statement just delivered by the representative of the European Union, and I wish to make the following remarks in national capacity. Sport is a universal language that brings people together across borders and cultures. It encourages values such as respect, fairness and friendship, while contributing to education, health, inclusion, gender equality and sustainable development. Just as culture fosters mutual understanding by celebrating the diversity of human expression, sport complements these efforts by creating shared experiences that transcend differences. Together, sport and culture serve as powerful drivers of dialogue, social cohesion and peaceful coexistence. The Olympic and Paralympic movements continue to demonstrate how sporting competition can inspire progress and promote understanding among nations. The Olympic ideal itself draws from the heritage of ancient Greece, where the first Olympic Games were founded on principles of unity, respect and peaceful competition. And the ancient tradition of Gehiria, the Olympic Truce, reminds us that even thousands of years ago, sport and culture were used to promote reconciliation and shared identity among diverse communities. And today, the reaffirmation of the Olympic Truce remains a powerful symbol, creating space for dialogue, tolerance and cooperation, and helping ensure safe access and participation for all those involved in the Games. Cyprus recognises the important work carried out by the International Olympic Committee, the International Paralympic Committee and the United Nations in promoting human rights, youth engagement and inclusive participation through sport. And we particularly appreciate initiatives that advance gender equality and support persons with disabilities, helping extend the reach and impact of the Olympic values. We also welcome efforts to integrate culture into major sporting events, echoing the ancient Greek understanding that athletic excellence and cultural expression together form the foundation of human development and mutual respect. And as we look forward to the Milano Cortina 2026 Winter Olympics and Paralympic Games, we are reminded of the positive influence that these events can have, not only in inspiring communities and strengthening international cooperation, but also in showcasing cultural diversity as a bridge between peoples. In conclusion, Cyprus reaffirms its commitment to supporting efforts that use sport and culture to foster peace, understanding and solidarity worldwide. And we remain ready to work with all partners to continue advancing these shared ideals. And we wish every success to Italy in organising these Games and to all competitors at the upcoming Games. Thank you very much, Madam President.
I thank the distinguished representative of Cyprus. I now give the floor to the distinguished representative of Thailand.
Madam President, Thailand recognizes that sport is a powerful instrument for advancing peace, development, mutual understanding, and shared prosperity. We acknowledge that sport not only promotes physical fitness, mental well-being, and recreation, but also instills values such as fairness, inclusion, respect, perseverance, and teamwork. These are the very principles we collectively strive to uphold within the international community. Madam President, to further elaborate, Thailand wishes to make the following 3 points. First, Thailand reaffirms that sport is an important catalyst in achieving the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. Beyond its direct link to good health and well-being, sport also contributes to other sustainable development goals by advancing social inclusion, promoting gender equality, reducing inequalities, and fostering sustainable communities. In this regard, Thailand remains committed to our National Sport Development Plan, guided by the vision sport to develop people, society, and drive economic prosperity. Through this 5-year plan, we are strengthening the sport industry toward inclusive and sustainable growth, leaving no one behind. Second, Thailand underscores the role of sport in promoting peace and social cohesion, especially among our young generation, the agents of change and possible future leaders. In Thailand, sport effectively engages youth, including those from at-risk groups, and promotes their inclusion within the community. Notable initiatives include the use of sport to facilitate the social reintegration of juvenile offenders, as well as programs that help young people and former juvenile offenders to develop their athletic potential and pursue careers as professional athletes. Third, Thailand reaffirms its commitment to further promoting development and peace through strengthening global and regional collaboration in the field of sport. In less than a month, Thailand will host the 33rd Southeast Asian Games, or SEA Games, followed by the 13th ASEAN Para Games in January next year in Bangkok, Chonburi Province, and Songkhla Province, under the theme Green SEA Games and Sustainable Paralympics. Thailand looks forward to showcasing regional athletic excellence while also promoting eco-friendly practices in sporting events, with an aim of becoming the most environmentally friendly host in the event's history. Thailand will focus on the efficient use of resources and the minimization of environmental impact through improved waste management, clean energy transportation, circular use of materials, reduced carbon emissions, and the development and implementation of sustainable sports venues and facilities, ensuring that sustainability is at the heart of the competition. These efforts underscore Thailand's long-standing commitment to sustainable development and highlight how sport can support this agenda to build more resilient and sustainable communities. Madam President, sport reminds us of our shared humanity and offers an opportunity to foster our common future. Thailand will continue to play our constructive part, not only to promote sport as a key driver of development and peace, but also to uphold the values it represents: fair play, equality, teamwork, and mutual respect, as guiding principles in our international community. I thank you, Madam President.
I thank the distinguished representative of Thailand. I now give the floor to the distinguished representative of Kuwait.
شكرا سيدة الرئيسة. في وقت يواجه فيه عالمنا تحديات متزايدة وانقسامات متعمقة، تبقى الرياضة إحدى أقوى الأدوات القادرة على توحيد الإنسانية بما تحمله من قيم العدالة والتعاون والاحترام المتبادل، فهي تزرع في شبابنا روح الفريق واللعب النزيه، وتظهر أن التفاهم يمكن أن ينتصر على الخلافات، وأن التنافس الشريف يفتح آفاق السلام. وانطلاقا من هذا الإيمان ترى دولة الكويت أن الرياضة تتجاوز حدود المنافسة والميداليات، فهي رافعة لبناء الإنسان وتعزيز ثقافة السلام، وتجسد المبادئ الأولمبية القائمة على التوازن بين الجسد والعقل والإرادة، وهي ذاتها القيم التي تقوم عليها التنمية المستدامة التي نعمل جميعا لتحقيقها. السيدة الرئيسة، أطلقت دولة الكويت من خلال الهيئة العامة للرياضة وبالتعاون مع برنامج الأمم المتحدة الإنمائي الاستراتيجية الوطنية للرياضة 2022 إلى 2028، وهي إطار شامل يهدف إلى تعزيز المؤسسات الرياضية وتمكين الشباب وضمان تكافؤ الفرص في ممارسة الرياضة للجميع، كما تهدف إلى تطوير البنية التحتية وتشجيع الابتكار وربط الرياضة بالتعليم والصحة والمجتمع بما ينسجم مع رؤية الكويت 2035. وفي هذا السياق يشهد الاتحاد الرياضي المدرسي منذ عام 2022 نشاطا متزايدا جعل التربية البدنية جزءا أساسيا في بناء الشخصية وتنمية قيم العمل الجماعي واحترام التنوع، كما تشجع البرامج الوطنية على العمل التطوعي والوعي البيئي من خلال مبادرات رياضية مجتمعية تجمع بين اللياقة البدنية وخدمة المجتمع، ترسيخا لمفهوم الرياضة كمسؤولية إنسانية. السيدة الرئيسة، تضع دولة الكويت تمكين المرأة في الرياضة ضمن أولوياتها، إدراكا بأن الرياضة أداة لبناء الثقة والقيادة. وفي هذا الإطار أنشئت لجنة رياضة المرأة الكويتية عام 2019، وتم تعديل الأنظمة الأساسية للاتحادات الرياضية لضمان تمثيل المرأة في مجالس إداراتها، ودمج البطولات النسائية ضمن المنافسات الرسمية، إلى جانب إطلاق برامج تدريب وتأهيل متخصصة في مجالات التحكيم والإدارة الرياضية. وقد توجت هذه الجهود بمشاركة كويتية مشرفة في أولمبياد باريس 2024 جسدتها مجموعة من اللاعبات اللواتي رفعن علم الوطن بفخر، في خطوة تعبر عن التزام وطني راسخ بالمساواة والتمكين. والتحدث إليكم اليوم كامرأة كويتية شهدت عن قرب ما تحقق من تقدم في مسيرة تمكين المرأة في المجال الرياضي، واستفادت من البيئة الداعمة التي وفرتها بلادي لتطوير القدرات وتعزيز روح الفريق والانضباط والمثابرة، تلك القيم التي تغرس فينا من خلال الرياضة قبل أن تعلم في القاعات. فالرياضة بالنسبة لنا ليست نشاطا بدنيا فحسب، بل مدرسة للحياة تنمي الثقة بالنفس وروح التعاون والإصرار على تحقيق الأفضل، وهي ذات القيم التي تسعى دولة الكويت إلى ترسيخها في أجيالها القادمة. السيدة الرئيسة، وفي إطار التزام دولة الكويت بتسخير الرياضة كجسر للتفاهم والسلام، شهدت مدينة الكويت مؤخرا تنظيم النسخة الأولى من المبادرة الأممية الدبلوماسية كرة القدم الإنسانية Football for Humanity، برعاية معالي وزير الخارجية وبالشراكة مع منظومة الأمم المتحدة في دولة الكويت، بما في ذلك اليونيسف واليونسكو ومنظمة الصحة العالمية والبرنامج الأمم المتحدة الإنمائي. وهدفت المبادرة إلى دعم الأطفال والشباب في دولة فلسطين من خلال برامج رياضية ومجتمعية تسهم في بناء الثقة وتعزيز الأمل وتمكين الجيل الناشئ. وتجسد هذه المبادرة رؤية الكويت في توظيف الرياضة كقوة ناعمة للدبلوماسية الإنسانية وأداة لترميم المجتمعات المتأثرة بالنزاعات. السيدة الرئيسة، إن الرياضة لغة عالمية توحد الشعوب، وتذكرنا بأن التنافس لا يلغي الصداقة، وأن الفوز الحقيقي يكمن في بناء عالم أكثر عدلا وسلاما. ففي الميادين الرياضية يقف الجميع على أرض واحدة تحكمها قواعد واحدة، ويتنافسون على أساس الجهد والالتزام لا على أساس القوة أو المكانة، وهي الصورة التي نرجو أن تمتد إلى علاقات الأمم فيما بينها. ومن هذا المنطلق تؤكد دولة الكويت دعمها الكامل لجهود الأمم المتحدة لتعزيز الرياضة من أجل التنمية والسلام، وتأييدها لمبدأ الهدنة الأولمبية باعتباره رمزا لاحترام الإنسان وروح المساواة التي تجمعنا جميعا. وفي الختام، تؤمن دولة الكويت بأن الاستثمار في الشباب والرياضة هو الاستثمار الأمثل في مستقبل يسوده السلام والازدهار، وتؤكد التزامها بمواصلة العمل مع المجتمع الدولي لتوسيع دور الرياضة كقوة دافعة للتنمية البشرية وبناء التفاهم بين الشعوب. شكرا سيد الرئيس.
I thank the distinguished representative of Kuwait. I now give the floor to the distinguished representative of the Maldives.
Thank you, Madam President.